If you're a contractor and you're sick and tired of having a messy email inbox that makes it almost impossible to go find the information you need, whether that's a proposal you sent to a client, you want to see if they ever answered, or maybe you're looking for, an update on a permit, an email you sent to the permitting department, whatever city you're doing business in. I'm going to teach you the super simple way to have the most organized email inbox in the entire industry. And what this is going to do is just let you know exactly where things are. It's going to really alleviate so much pain and frustration for you guys when you have to go back and find information. Because let's face it, that is something you're going to have to continue to do in your business. So I got this whiteboard behind me, and I'm going to go over a very simple concept I learned from David Allen, actually, in this book right here, Getting Things Done. This is sometimes referred to as the godfather of productivity. And I read his book, and he's the one who actually taught me about inbox zero. So inbox zero just means getting to a place where there's no more emails in your inbox. And that doesn't mean deleting everything. It just means organizing it and sorting it into a place where you can reference later to go find the things you may need. Now, what I like to think about is if I was to have a physical mailbox in front of my house, I wouldn't just leave all the mail in there. It would make it almost impossible to find which new pieces of mail came in every day. And, what do I need to do with some of those pieces of mail? Maybe a bill came in, or there's something they need to take action on and actually do. An invite, let's say, to an event. So what he talks about is to help reduce overwhelm, improve clarity, and give you a state of, just calm, stress-free productivity, just like the title of the book. Keep your email inbox clean. So I combined what I learned from David Allen with something I learned from a guy named Tiago Forte, another productivity guy, named the PARA method. So it's a simple 4-step, 4-letter acronym. And what I did is I built this in my email, and it changed the game for me. Okay. So P is for projects. And these are going to be things that you guys are actively working on. So for me, if I have, let's say, a specific deal, specific property address I may be working on, I go ahead and just make a subfolder labeled with that property address. And then every single email regarding that deal, that property, that project I'm working on goes into that folder. So if we can imagine our inbox is right here, whatever email platform you use does not matter because you're going to be able to create folders in them. So if a new email comes in, here's a little subject line. Here's the body copy, sender name. If a new email comes in and it's regarding 123 Main Street, once you read that email, if there's nothing you need to do, then you can just go ahead and move it right into this folder. And what that's going to do is you're going to have folders for all your active projects. Okay. And when you're looking for something regarding one of these active projects, because that's the thing, they're active. You're going to always be going in and out of them. You don't have to just scroll through your inbox and dig to find it. That's what a lot of people do. That's what I used to do. Then I thought using the search bar and actually just searching for, maybe the sender or trying to put in the property address. Maybe the person sending you the email is not putting that in the subject line, which is something I'll cover another day in another video. But this is a really simple way. Just drag it into that folder. Okay. So P is for projects. Now, A is for areas. Areas are things that are ongoing. Projects have a definite end date. There's going to be a day where 123 Main Street, that job gets finished. You collect your final check, you deposit it in the bank, you got a good review from your customer, and everything's happy. And at that stage, you'll drag that somewhere else. I'll show you where. But areas are ongoing. So these are going to be folders for things that you're always going to be receiving. So what I like to do for this is maybe let's do receipts for your business expenses. So if you get an email receipt, you go to Home Depot, then you get those automated emails, or you put your email in for the receipt. You can just drag it in there, and then whenever it's tax time, go in that folder and drag all those out so you can go ahead and send it to your accountant or whatever you need to do with the receipts. Other examples of areas I've done is, let's say, leads. If you get notified by email when a new lead comes in, you can go ahead after you've called that lead and responded to that lead, drag that email. So imagine this is one email. Here's another email. Because what tends to happen is this used to happen to me a lot after, let's say, the weekend. So I'll come in Monday morning and I'm backed up on emails because I might have just been on my phone all Sunday, checking things as they come in. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on the email inbox, but I'm not, at my desk or in a position where I can really sort through a lot of stuff. So if I come in and I have multiple emails, and this one is regarding a project, drag it in there. This one is a new lead, call that lead. If I have a good conversation with them, update my CRM, and then just go ahead and put this email inside of the leads folder, because I don't necessarily want to delete that, right? That's always good to have, good to save, and it's just information that let's store somewhere. But again, going back to that mailbox outside, in the front of your yard, you wouldn't just leave a bunch of mail in there. You wouldn't like open up a piece of mail, read it, and put it back in your mailbox. It doesn't make any sense. So just because your email like has technically unlimited storage doesn't mean you should keep everything in there because it's a mess. Okay. So continuing to move down. R is for resources. And this folder is great for things that you feel, okay, I don't want to just archive this or delete this. I may need to reference this later. I may need to reference this multiple times. I'll give you an example. Let's say you go down to the permit office in a city you just started doing business in, and you have the nice lady behind the counter email you some helpful resources that you may want to, like whether those are guides or their process for what they want for a specific permit, let's say a roofing permit, like what they need for the roofing permit. If you take that email that she sent you that maybe has all those attachments and you drag that into the resources folder, the next time you're like, man, I want to reference that email. You may not remember what that lady's name was. You may not remember what email they sent it from, what the subject line was, what the body copy was. But if you remember, hey, I probably put that in my resources folder, you could just go in there and go and find them. And I recommend just keep that without any subfolders to start. Depending on the complexity of your business, if you have, let's say, different entities or different arms of divisions, then maybe you want subfolders for that, and you could do it that way. And then the last thing, the second A, the last A, is for archive. And what I use archive for is to go ahead and drag all of my folders from the project section once they're complete. So let's say we close on 123 Main Street, that project's done, got paid, finito. We don't really need to have that in the projects folder anymore. We could take this folder, drag it down into the archive, literally just click and drag it, and now it's in here. That's great because 6 months later, you may have a question or you need to reference a piece of information, and just go look in the archive, and they're not on the computer right now, but there'll be a little toggle next to a folder that has subfolders nested underneath. And you could just go to you could see all the nested subfolders in the archive. So the archive is going to be the biggest, imagine like a big file cabinet. And these are the labels of the folders are the labels of the, subfiles inside that file cabinet. So it's like having 4 file cabinets. And you can go to the archive one and quickly find that email. So that's the pair method. And I'm going to run through it really quick one more time with some more examples. I use this absolutely everywhere. On Google Chrome, for example, I bookmark a lot of things that I may need to reference back to. So I have on my Google Chrome profile, P for projects, A for areas, R for resources, A for archive. And then I'll have folders inside of those folders. This pair method can be used anywhere. And if I'm saving a bookmark for something I'm currently working on, I may put it into the P for projects. If there's like a helpful resource I may find that I know I may want to go back to that website later, put it in R for resources. And every once in a while, I'll go through my projects folder and look for which folders I could put into my archive just to keep this one clean. You'll notice once you start to do this, and I'll give you a helpful tip. All of you watching this video have probably had your email inboxes for years. So it's like, how do you go through and sort all that? Who has the time to do that? What I recommend you do is just go in and select all the email. So on the computer, it's typically like Control A, but you can just look up, what you need to click to go ahead and do this. So just Control A, select all, and just drag them all into the archive. And you just need to have a mental line in the sand that from whenever you decide to implement this onward is going to be sorted into folders, and everything from before then is just going to be all clumped into the same archive folder. What that's going to do is get you to inbox 0, which you've probably never seen in your inbox since you started working, but it's actually beautiful. And depending on your service provider, it'll even put like a little message there. And what you want is to log into your email and it just to be completely empty. And then you hear an email notification on your phone, you check it, there'll be only one email and you know exactly where to sort it. So I hope this was helpful. This was, again, you can look up Tiago Forte is his name. He's got a book on it. I don't think it's necessary to read the book. It's a 4-letter acronym. Just get in there and start creating email folders. If you need help creating email folders, I would just search on YouTube how to create an email folder on Outlook or Yahoo or AOL, whatever you're using. What I would say is that if you guys have any other questions or just comments, concerns for things you may be dealing with in your contracting business, digitally on your computer, or problems that you have that you feel like if you had a software or a digital system could really benefit you, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'm going to be making a lot more of these videos on my channel. I'm a consultant that only works with contractors and focuses on the construction niche. And yeah, I'm just bringing a lot of the things I've learned from other industries into this one. And yeah, I'm just going to be making more videos. So go ahead and subscribe if you like this type of content, and comment below if you want me to make different types of videos. One more time, this is the pair method. You can use this primarily for emails, how I found out about it, but I use it for bookmarks on my computer. You can use it for files on your computer. So if you have just a bunch of stuff thrown all over your desktop, make 4 folders, P-A-R-A, and go ahead and, even if you want to just take a bunch of documents and drag it into the P folder and then sort it in there later, do it. But just wherever you can, make P-A-R-A, make the pair method a thing, and then start to sort and drag and drop in. So hope this was helpful. And again, leave me a comment down below. Thanks.